Hi, folks. Chocolate Yoddah here, spelled Y-O-D-D-A-H, because film studios are litigious. And my son sent me a video earlier of this distraught woman who had transitioned into being a man and discovered that being a man is hard.
Nobody told me how lonely being a man is. I had closer friendships with random women I met in the bathroom before I transitioned at clubs because of how open women are than I've had in my 8 years of transitioning. Because women are just so much more vulnerable and deep than men. But to have known, and I think a lot of trans men feel this, is we knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to have people want to hug us. And to have people want to talk to us. And to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. And people are colder. What's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid. But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men. Because this shit is lonely. And I'm an emotionally mature man. I know how to build friendships, and it is still really, really hard.
That was rough. I felt her pain for sure. And there's a much longer discussion that I'm going to have about that. But for now, I wanted to just share some quick thoughts. And I'm going to begin by reading something that I wrote. I posted it to Facebook. But it's sort of the beginning of what I'm going to talk about. And full disclaimer, I have absolutely no issues with anybody and their identity. I want everybody to be free. I want everybody to be equal. I want everybody to be happy. I have nothing against trans people or anyone else with any other identity issues. But here we go. If I call a car, is that rude? If I call a rose, is that rude? How about if I call a rose a flower or a car a ride? Are either of those rude? Juliet Capulet said, "That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet." If you were born a man, you can call yourself a woman. And if you were born a woman, you can call yourself a man. I have no objection whatsoever to either. Have at it. Neither has any bearing on my life, so I would never object. However, no matter what you call yourself, or what you think of yourself, or how you feel of yourself, reality will remain, and thankfully, in my opinion, you'd still smell as sweet. So that's my opener. If anybody wants to join. And I stole that idea from Greg. That was my opener. Greg from Greg's Take. So if you're going to steal, you steal from the best, right? And it looks like we have a guest. Here we go. Curtis James. All right, Curtis. Fire away, sir. Let me know what you think about this topic.
I like it. To charge up my phone. I was getting ready to do a wisdom myself for my today's spa day. So I like to do a lot of meditation. But a rose by any other name. Interesting take. Oh, wait. Greg's take.
Anything else?
Yeah. I caught the end of it. So what were your pointers in this one?
Basically, no matter what you call yourself, there's a baseline reality, right? So if you're a man who calls yourself a woman, It's perfectly fine if you do. If you believe you're a woman, it's perfectly fine if you do. But there's still a baseline biological reality to that. So whatever you call yourself, you're entitled to call yourself that. And it's kind of interesting to me that we don't treat everybody and their identity issues the same way. For instance, if someone says, I believe I'm Jesus Christ, they will very often wind up in an insane asylum. So we don't respect that person's identity. So it's kind of interesting that when it comes to gender identity, there's been this different way of approaching that, and I think it's great. I think it's good to respect someone's identity, but it's just kind of interesting that we have no tolerance in one area and all tolerance in another. Or not tolerance. Tolerance is the wrong word. Let's say acceptance.
Acceptance, yeah, sure. I mean, I knew what you were putting forth with that, but I look at it as duality too. Because I think everybody, human beings, for example, we all have a duality with masculinity and femininity. I'm gonna mess that word up, but it should be accepted. I mean, it's like we don't realize those principles within our bodies, and some people just want to be alpha males, and then on the flip side, it could be whatever. But I was raised by my mother, and so like I have a lot of feminine qualities, but my masculinity is that I have confidence and I'm very strong and open to protecting as a protector.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I was raised by my mother too, but I wouldn't say I have a lot of feminine qualities, so that might or might not be a factor. But, here's what I find interesting, right? Like, I believe in supporting people in their beliefs, but I don't know why I necessarily have to participate in their beliefs. And I'm going to give you an example of how that went very wrong last summer.
Okay.
In New Jersey, there was a male prisoner who said he identified as female. Now, whether that was true or not doesn't even matter. Because, in my opinion, hey, fine. Your identity is your business. You can feel whatever you want to feel. I have no issue with that. But what they did is they put this man in a female prison just because he said he identified as a female, which I think is absurd. And the results prove that it was absurd because he got 2 female inmates pregnant. Now, thankfully, it was consensual sex, but that could have gone even more wrong than it went. Okay, he could have wound up assaulting somebody. He didn't do that, but still, my question to the litany of people that had to be involved in that decision is, what were you thinking? How did you not see this as an obvious possibility and high likelihood? Like, you're talking about the male prison was involved, the female prison was involved. I'm sure lawyers and at least one judge were involved in doing all of this. And none of them along the way said, hey, we don't have to pretend with this guy. He can feel however way he feels about it, but at the end of the day, he's a biological male and he needs to stay in the male prison. That's my only issue. It's like, believe what you want, but I don't have to join you in that. That your belief is your business.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, are you in Jersey or?
I'm in an undisclosed location in a bunker, but please continue.
Well, I would say if you were in Jersey, we'd be neighbors, in state-wise, but because I'm in the same bunker. But that being said, yeah, no, because I kind of have to remember hearing that in the news. Was it in the news media?
I don't know.
Yeah, doesn't matter. But yeah, you don't. I mean, that situation there, it's craziness.
And this is what people seem to be requiring in these situations, that we just go along with it as if it's true. And again, I don't mean this as any kind of disrespect to anybody. I know trans people. I have zero issues, zero. I have zero objections, nothing. And ultimately, the story of the prisoner, I have no issue with the prisoner. I have an issue with the people that pretended that what he was saying was fact.
You have an issue with the system.
I have an issue with anybody that feels that they have to pretend that reality isn't reality. Again, for some people that refuse to accept reality, we put them in insane asylums. So why does this get a pass?
I know they almost put me in one.
And by the way, I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying anyone needs to be in an insane asylum for what they think they are. Like, hey, if you believe you're Jesus Christ, fine. It doesn't affect me. I don't care. Right? So, but for some people, if they say, oh, I believe I'm Jesus Christ, they wind up in an insane asylum.
Yeah. I'll give you the funny example. So I woke up on life support and I couldn't talk because, my larynx was shut off. And apparently I woke up during, they had all this stuff in me. I woke up during that coma and I knew I couldn't talk. So I was scribbling. I'm an artist, but I was scribbling out to the nurse how I was feeling and everything. And then the next day, I asked her if she still had it because I remember doing it. And she was like, they were getting ready to commit you. I'm like, you had me on all these, on like a combination of fentanyl and something else. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, no, it's interesting. But I identify as a man, and I am a man, and I'm heterosexual. So, but I have friends that have alternative lifestyles, and I accept that.
Yeah, I would, me personally, I would not feel comfortable referring to it as an alternative lifestyle. It's just a lifestyle to me.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. It's like, how do you go politically correct anymore? It's like,
I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that. I just worry about getting to the truth of something.
true. I like that. Thank you, Chocolate Yoddah. I appreciate the topic and the conversation today.
Thank you for participating, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, folks. Good stuff. Good stuff. I see there's a few of you out there. Terry's listening. Miguel Lebron, Marcianne, Curtis, of course, and Smith James. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that fascinates me. I was in the car with a woman. I drive for rideshare, as I've mentioned before, and this woman and we were talking about the state of things, and the trans issue came up, and I asked her the question about people who believe that they are Jesus Christ, and she said, "Oh, well, that's delusional." And I said, "Well, how can you tell the difference?" Right? And I wasn't saying that to be rude or anything, just because I think that's a reasonable question. Why would you assume one is delusional and another is not? And Smith James wants to join us and talk about this topic, a roast by any other name. Hello, sir.
Hello, Sir Chocolate. How you doing?
I'm very good.
Thank you for accepting my request.
My pleasure. Fire away, sir.
So, uh, listening to your topic, I just want to add my own opinion to it. This is just an example to the world, example to the society, example to the family and anyone you think you are. Because people can pretend to be who you don't think they are. But There are people that deceive people for many years, many months, many weeks, many days. So when he said he's a female, and they, even if they're not able to judge him, they took his word and accepted him as a female and took him to a female prison. Why they accepted him as a female? Because the confidence he had when saying it, those things is going to judge, because you're going to tell the world who you are. Don't allow anyone to tell you who you are. If you want to be strong, you want to win, tell them who you are, even if they are trying to tell you who you are not.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
so in a negative way, he just won the police people. He won the cops. He won them. He got victory. Because if this is a positive situation, he's going to be the winner. Because he have the confidence, and he did not allow anyone to make him feel or make him misunderstand himself, because he have the full confidence of accepting himself for who he wants to be. He said he want to be a female, so he agreed and he stand on it. And that make the cops to accept him for accepting being a female, which is very powerful. That is why today, if we're going to be a winner, if we're going to win any case, if we want to have our dream come true, we're going to keep on fighting, keep on believing on ourselves. Don't allow anything to misunderstand us, to anything to pull us down, even the society, even if the family, or even the community, just to believe in ourselves, which is very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so you're saying that he won. What exactly did he win? And did anyone lose for his winning?
First of all, you need to start counting from one before you count two, before you're going to count three. You're not going to start counting from two or start counting from three. So, first is yourself. You're going to start from yourself in this mission. So, he just told them what he have to say about himself. So, this is an opinion of them judging him if they're going to accept or not. So, he won the case of deceiving the cops. That is his benefit.
Okay. And did anyone lose?
But that is for his benefit, which is the number one. This is the number one case. So if anyone have lost, meaning he won the case negatively, because why? He just plays himself, and other people have gotten misunderstand or have gotten hurt with him winning himself.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning he just uh, did the winning in a negative way.
Okay.
So it could have been better for him to uh, save himself and also save other people by saying the truth. That is the better thing to do.
Well, it might have been the truth for him. He might sincerely believe that he's a woman. And again, my issue is not with him. I don't care about what he said. I don't care about what he believes. In my opinion, society lost in this one because the prison system is supposed to be about paying back your debt to society, and they allowed this man to go into a woman's prison and impregnate 2 women. So that to me is society losing.
Society losing. Yes, society losing. So now the society have lose because they just accepted someone for who he or she think he is. So why is it not better for us to feel helping everyone?
I'm sorry, say that again. Your sound dropped out for a second. Why isn't it not better for what?
Why is it not better for us feeling helping everyone? Meaning not to please ourselves, just to any decision we're taking. We need to think about other people's feelings, thinking about the destruction we're going to cause others people, and also think about their own life stage. If we're going to be doing that, it's going to be better today in this world. But
I agree. But that does not mean, because there's a difference to me between respecting someone's beliefs and accepting those beliefs as absolute fact. Okay, we don't have to do that. Nobody has to accept your personal belief as absolute fact. We can respect it, we can honor it, we can support it, because a belief is just a belief. It doesn't have any effect in the real world. But what these people did in the prison system had an effect in the real world, because it went from belief to action, and there are consequences for those actions.
yes, you are right. You are right. There are consequences for those actions. So the consequences are very calm. So let me just say, what I'm going to say is that this victim won this case, because if this is his opinion of being free or using this opportunity to escape in the prison, what he told the cops are already making free, because they are not supposed to accept his opinion, but follow the law.
Exactly. And because here's the thing, right? Let's take this example to an extreme, a ridiculous extreme. Let's say you put me in prison, and then my first day in prison, I turn to you and say, well, I believe I'm a free man. So let me go, because my belief is that I'm a free man, so I should be free, right? And of course, life doesn't work that way. So this is a case where this guy said, this is what I believe, and everyone went, oh, okay, let's just do that then. It's ridiculous. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Is
so you have a little over 30 seconds left, sir.
okay. I'm gonna say thank you for this topic, because it just teach me a lesson just to believe on yourself, because there are people that are faking who they are not, but you're gonna tell the world who you want them to, if who you want to be, or how they're gonna treat you, how they're gonna accept you. Tell the world how they're gonna address you. That is what I've seen. That is what I've learned in this topic, and I appreciate you for accepting me. Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining me. That was good. Good stuff. Okay. Anybody else want to jump on in and join the party? Looks like no one for now. So, yeah, this was just a quick thought that I had for my own purposes. Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I go live on Wisdom, and I simultaneously go live on YouTube. It's it's youtube.com/@thepersistentrumor, and you can click on the live tab and you'll find all those things. You can click on the playlist called Chocolate Yoddah Live. Or if you want to go directly there, it's youtube.com/@the persistent rumor /streams, and that takes you to the live page as well. And we can have fun till our daddy takes our T-bird away. So with that, thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. Peace, love, and granola. Talk to you soon.